So, it's been a while, but we're finally back in Hanoi.
Yep.
Some of you may remember we actually left using this bridge.
Let me tell you something.
What's that?
In the beginning, I was like, Hanoi it's kind of a mess, but it's fun.
Stick to the right, by the way.
Okay. It's fun, right?
Like, as in, don't go under those
I
metal
know,
things.
I'm just trying to get past you. I was like, this is a crazy nutso place, but it's fun. It's a little stressful.
Yeah.
You know, getting around. There's a lot of scooters, a lot of crazy stuff going on. But then when I left, I was like, holy crap, Hanoi is literally like the Hamptons or something. Like, it gets bad out there.
Oh, yeah.
Real bad, real fast. And that's not to say that people got worse. It's just, it's a mess out there.
It's,
boy.
hard and fast, man. Like, the way things happen, the traffic, the pollution. Ooh, boy. I mean, I wonder, we've been here now for quite some time, and I gotta say the air quality's been pretty consistently bad the whole time.
Yeah.
Like for about a month now. And I want to think that there are places where you can escape this, but to be honest,
there is.
Yeah, not up north.
No, the north is where the industry is, right? No, we came here for a specific reason. It's to see the industry, see the big move, right?
Yeah,
and it's happening.
Yeah.
It's true. We confirmed it.
Oh yes, definitely is. I know that in China during winter, because it is winter here, right? This is the Vietnamese winter. In China in winter, it's unbearably bad as well.
Yeah.
And it's only during the summer that you see all the blue skies and stuff.
Yeah, it rains and clears it away and whatnot.
Pretty much. So I'm guessing I'm going to give Vietnam the benefit of the doubt.
Sure.
And say that this is probably usually quite beautiful and blue skies, but that, by the way, up there is the sun and not the moon. Is that actually the sun?
Yeah, it is. It's very blinding, but it's also very small.
It literally looks like the moon.
Yeah, it does.
Sure it's not the moon?
Pretty sure it's not the moon. Pretty sure it's the sun.
Wow, okay. Well, that'll give you an idea of what we're talking about.
Yep. Yeah.
Anyway, we said that we'd film a little bit closer into the city, and here you can see all of the friendship flags of Vietnam, America, and North Korea.
Yes.
And it's quite an interesting mix, because that's not something you normally see altogether.
Sure. I actually wanted to point something out too. If you look behind these houses, it's just like slum, disgusting garbage, right? If the summit was to happen in China, people would be getting thrown in jail to get them off the street by making China look bad. Mm-hmm. Whereas I actually expected that here, but we've seen the same plastic burning garbage and mess everywhere. So I guess they're not as harsh as China.
Yeah, it doesn't seem that way. Not at all. Yeah, man, it's an interesting situation we're in right now, but it is it's fun to be here, and it's fun to see it all. And our Vietnamese trip is starting to wind down. It's coming to an end.
I wanted to ask you if we did a bit of a sign off on the whole thing.
Yeah.
What were your final impressions? Yeah, look at that.
That's kind of cool. See, it's got a friendship handshaking thing in the middle.
Yep.
It's got the American flag, the North Korean flag. I want to.
Which way are we going?
Pull over here if we can, without being a menace, and I'd like to get a little bit of B-roll of that.
That's a bad idea.
Yes, but it looks nice. Okay, and this is what ADV separates us from your average everyday person.
Still not a good idea.
Yeah.
But we're gonna do it anyway.
Yeah. Well, what were you saying about signing off on the whole thing? What was that all about?
I just wanted to ask you what your final. It's been about a month, like you said. And what are your final impressions of Vietnam?
Yeah, that's a very good one, and I'm going to give it to you in a second.
Okay.
Once I've gotten a little bit more of this.
Makes sense that you just asked me to repeat the question if you're not going to answer it.
Well, no, I am going to answer it because I want to be thoughtful about it.
Okay. You just asked me to repeat it, though.
I know. I like to hear things twice to make sure I didn't make a mistake
in
understanding it the first time.
Sure.
Okay, I got that. So we can get out of here. But to answer your question, I like Vietnam very much. Just like I like China very much, especially in the beginning.
Sure.
I see a lot of the qualities in Vietnam that attracted me to China in the first place.
Sure.
All right, I see a kind of a dynamic situation. I see a lot of chaotic growth going on here. Mm-hmm. I see people really making the most of their lives, and improving. And I just see a whole lot of fun. Whole lot of fun things going on,
Yeah.
I absolutely despise the pollution.
Yeah.
And obviously all this chaotic stuff that's going on around us when we're riding here is not great. You get tired of it.
Yeah.
But it is interesting and it is exciting, at least in short bursts. Let's put it that way. The street food out here is freaking awesome.
Yep.
The coffee is amazing. The people are very friendly.
Yes.
I haven't had a single scowl the whole time.
Nope. Genuinely friendly too.
And we've been out in the sticks, and we've been, in the middle of, Hanoi and Haiphong and all these big cities, and people have been so nice and friendly to us.
Yep.
It's been much easier to get around than in China because people understand basic body language here better than in China.
Sure.
I know
And some English.
it sounds, yeah. A lot more people, even in the rural areas, understand basic English phrases,
Yeah.
which is good.
Which is weird.
But the body language, dude, because there were people we met that couldn't understand a damn thing.
Sure, but we communicated.
Yeah, there was one big mess up with that, though. All right, because when I was gesturing that I wanted to drink some water, and the lady, well, it was actually coffee. I was saying coffee, and I was doing that gesture, and she's like, "Sure, come on in,"
Right.
And she thought that I was asking for a blowjob, and she lured me into a brothel.
Yeah. That
that's-
happened.
That was probably like the most bizarre thing to come out
To
of
be
that.
fair,
Yeah.
makes sense, right? If she's working in a brothel and she sees this guy making a blowjob fist with his hand.
No, literally,
What do you-
it's like lifting a cup to your mouth.
Yeah, but if you suck for a living, what's the first thing you're gonna think about?
Okay, I mean,
Right?
yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Sure. Okay. Well,
Anyway.
my impressions are that I like Vietnam. I think there's a lot of promise here, and if this pollution could just get sorted out, it'd be an amazing place.
Sure.
How about you?
My impressions of Vietnam are, I'm gonna mirror the first thing you said. It is like the good parts of China in the beginning.
Right.
I can see a lot of things that would make me absolutely insane very quickly, and I have to be totally honest about that. It's just pure chaos, and it does grow tiresome. I don't think I would be out singing the praises all day if stuff was just whipping at you in all directions and I couldn't get some peace and quiet once in a while. That being said, I have been here before, and I have gone south, all the way down south from here, and I do know that it opens up. The traffic's still horrific and people are still bad on the road, but the pollution does go away. So you could theoretically get away from it, but it takes a while to get out of this northern area, right?
Right.
You could head up into the mountains and all that kind of stuff, but then the road quality kind of goes to shit. So I do know the reality of the situation is still a third world country. But
this guy's got a refrigerator on the back of his scooter.
And that's the kind of stuff you see here. But annoyances aside, I think it is a very, very fun place. Like you said, I hate when people say, I went to China and I didn't run into any negative things, right? I can see the potential negatives. I do understand that, right? And I do know that there eventually would be some sort of confrontation, probably based on race, because of how many people come here for sexpat tourism and stuff like that.
Correct.
You probably get lumped in with those people, maybe rightfully so. But my general impressions are very fun, very vibrant, definitely not boring. Very much like you can almost do whatever you want within reason. Kind of like the old China, like we talked about.
Absolutely, the old China. All the negatives that I'm seeing here are also negatives that I was willing to overlook in the beginning.
Sure.
Of course, you do when you're starting a new life in an exciting and interesting, exotic place. You will forgive all the chaotic traffic and all the pollution and all the bad things because the good far outweighs the bad as far as you're concerned.
Right. Anyway,
that's how it is.
Great food in the big cities. Had good food there. Not great food out in the countryside. Pretty terrible.
No, not great.
Worse than China.
We're stuck.
Worse than China in that respect. But like you said, things like coffee and stuff are a big plus.
That just made it for me. Like I can deal with the bad food if I can have coffee and a French bread.
Rural China is getting things like Walmart and KFC, so at least you can get that kind of stuff. You will not find that here. This is a big deal here in Hanoi.
Yeah, they got KFC. We saw a Burger King. We saw a Pizza Hut.
That's in Hanoi, right? So you go in the countryside, you lose a lot of stuff.
Well, come on, let's be fair. In China, you don't have Starbucks in the countryside.
No, but like we have been to tiny towns in the middle of nowhere where we can get KFC.
That's true.
Not
KFC
that I love KFC. Definitely China's more developed, but that's, again, I think that Vietnam seems a little more honest with itself and a little less paranoid. And the fact that we get so much shit these days for filming anywhere in China, but we literally didn't run into one problem filming this entire series.
Yeah.
Not one problem, not one paranoid look, not one police officer.
Yeah.
Just smiles.
Smiles and waves.
That's a huge plus for me because it makes me feel like society is actually probably progressing in a good direction.
Yeah,
right?
the people are just more welcoming and less full of themselves, really.
Sure.
Yeah.
And that was a very refreshing change, right?
Absolutely.
So yeah, some places are beautiful, some places are hideous. It's got its faults. I will say this, and this is gonna sound like my male chauvinism coming out. Beautiful women.
Okay.
Absolutely beautiful women. I've been to I've been to tons of countries around the world.
Yeah.
Didn't find a whole lot of women in Thailand or Cambodia to be of
What
my
are you?
aesthetic taste.
Okay, gotcha.
I know why people think they're beautiful because they are, but not to my taste, right? But in Vietnam, they're very much like Southern Chinese people.
Correct.
Very good-looking people.
I mean, let's be fair. Both of us are married to
Southern Chinese women.
Southern Chinese women, Cantonese women, and
Right.
for all intents and purposes, the women up here in the north are Cantonese in genetics.
Right. At least looking. Right?
Yeah, the way they look, and a big portion of their genetics are the same as Southern China.
Sure.
So that's why we find the women here attractive.
Because we miss our
Absolutely right.
wives. That was a good save.
Yeah,
Now I don't sound like a scumbag. Sorry, baby.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there we go. Good. Yeah, I mean, as far as I'm concerned, very, 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 very impressed with the people here. Remember that street magician we bumped into?
Yeah.
The kids that we bumped into.
A lot of
who were
self-expression.
Yeah. I enjoyed it a lot. I really did. And I'm going to be kind of sad to head out of here.
But you know what the good news is?
What's that?
We get to go somewhere else now.
Yeah, next time we're going to be going somewhere else. But I can 100% suggest coming to Vietnam.
Yep.
As a little tourist fling, or even if you wanted to do a little gap year doing ESL or something.
Yeah.
Because it's certainly not a boring place.
Nope.
You're going to have a lot of fun. There's so much to do and see. It's awesome. It's just like China used to be. So definitely give it a shot.
Cool.
Yeah. All right. So anything you'd like to tell our subscribers before we sign off?
Goodbye, Vietnam. We love you so much. And I hope you guys enjoyed this series. If you did, subscribe because there's so many more countries to come up. And I hope you guys love the fact that we went to a different place outside of China. I think you guys did enjoy that. Because we certainly did, and I think that comes out on camera.
Absolutely. Let's go straight to the left. Let's go
straight
to the left.
To the left. Okay, so take a left.
Just a gut feeling.
Okay. Well, the long and short of it is, leave your comment down below. What did you think of the Vietnam series?
Yeah.
Have you been to Vietnam? Tell us your impressions as well. Probably get some people be like, I was ripped up and Nam and rasm frasm. Anyway, leave us a like if you did like the video, and I will see you soon, guys. Don't forget to subscribe.
Yeah, and I'd like to take this opportunity to ask our subscribers whether you think that our content that has come through on this Vietnam series is up to scratch with the stuff that we did in Taiwan and China. I would like to know from you guys if you enjoyed this and if this is the correct route for us to take in your mind.
Sure.
That is a big flag.
That is a massive freaking flag.
Yeah. Is that the mausoleum? Yeah, man. We were there the other day.
We've been here.
This is the, you know how these communist countries love to copy the Soviet Union?
Yeah.
So you always have like a mummified corpse of their leaders.
Right, they love that.
They certainly do. Like Mao Zedong and Ho Chi Minh is over here in his little mausoleum. It's kind of silly, like to make jerky out of your leader, but whatever. I mean, that's what you want to do.
Can you sign off?
Okay, all right, sorry. Whether or not you think it's good to make jerky out of your leader, imagine the Donald Trump jerky. That'd be really funny.
It'd probably be orange flavored.
Yeah, it would, wouldn't it? Yeah. Anyway, whether you like to do that or not, we love you all the same. So until next time, you know the drill. As always, stay awesome.
Thank you so much, guys. Don't forget, every single Monday at 1 p.m. EST, you can watch ADV China. You can watch me every single Wednesday at 1 p.m. EST, Lao 86. And right below that, you can watch Serpents a Day just in time for a beer on Friday at 1 p.m. EST.